Picture this: 3 library staff members trapped inside the South Charleston Public Library. Aaron, Toby, and Josh, each with divergent tastes, tasked with watching each other's films. Can they survive with their sanity intact? Find out on Real Opposites, a library podcast about movies.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Real Opposites. I'm Aaron.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Toby.
And we are back this week to discuss Toby's pick, Pan's Labyrinth. But we did go ahead and also watch Labyrinth, mainly because, I think we mainly did it because I thought they were the same movie. Turns out they're not. So, Pan's Labyrinth, why was it your selection?
Okay, so this is one of those I really love Guillermo Del Toro. I think he knows how to make a beautiful movie, but also a really impactful I love fairy tales. I love folk tales. I love the origins of fairy tales and folk tales in the dark, horrific times.
You don't say.
Now, I really do. I do. I love that we had to inform people that it was a bad idea to eat their children. I love that. Like I love like folklore and its roots. And Pan's Labyrinth is. There is this beautiful dichotomy between what she is experiencing in the fantasy realm, which is semi-horrific, but actually underneath it all has a pleasant outcome ish. And what she's experiencing in the horrific pushing her to making a good choice versus her real world that is just this terrifying fascist regime that her and her mom find themselves embroiled in because her mom marries this captain out of desperation. That is stated in the story. She's a single mom. This guy has taken an interest in her. There's not really a way to say no to the guy who is the government at this time. And she needs income. She needs someone to take care of them. And so she marries this guy and gets pregnant, and the baby is slowly this is a really difficult pregnancy, and she is dying. And so this little girl dealing with all this and this horrific, the worst of stepfathers, which is a nice twist on the evil stepmother trope, is we have the horrifically evil stepfather in this one. The effects are beautiful. I love the fawn. I love the frog. I really like, this guy is you guys can see me. I'm holding my hands over my eyes. Is terrifying.
Whatever he's called. Yeah.
I probably watched this a little young. Not super young. I was probably 12, 13 when I saw this movie for the first time.
There's some violence, but fairy tales are violent.
And yes, exactly. Enough for this guy to horrify me for a while still.
The Pale Man.
Yeah, the Pale Man. And the fawn even super creepy. And I just love, to spoil the ending, this is one of my favorite kind of folk tales. I, for some reason, really love reincarnation tales. So the fact that she is supposedly the princess from myth reborn. Now, you can look at this anyway. I choose to look at it in the what was happening is real, and her dying and passing into the underworld was just the natural progression of her becoming the princess of the end, herself, rather than being a horrific, sad moment in
I prefer the horrific, sad.
Yeah,
one.
I know. I prefer the. I prefer that.
They're both sad.
That she is passing through this world, not that there is not that this is just a hallucination at the end of her life.
Yeah, it's great. You can read it both ways, and he leaves it open.
Yeah, and you can read the fantastical things happening, either being all in her head, or being out in the.
Well, I think because there's a shot where the captain is looking at her talking to nothing
At the end.
At the end, and I think that's.
Yeah, but how does she get out of the room?
I don't know. That's well when we're with her alone, I feel like we're in her head. So whatever she's imagining is happening to get her out of the room.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know, she picked the lock or broke, whatever. Broke
Or
a
can
hinge.
she only see the fawn because of who she is destined to be? Like
Right.
that's what I love about
I mean,
this
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I
You
think
can
like-
look at it that way too.
Yeah.
Very ambiguous, I think.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
kind
love.
of watched it in the sense that it was actually happening.
Yeah.
And I kind of took at the end when he couldn't see the
Mhm.
fawn was just because he can't see it. Like
Yeah.
he's full of evil, or
Mhm.
just the fact that she's who she is, something like that.
Yeah.
So, what did you? I think this is our first Spanish language film
Mhm.
that we've done on the podcast. But so yeah, now that I've rambled on about why I kind of, like I said, and I just think Guillermo Del Toro's set building is usually gorgeous. I love this. Crimson Peak, I don't think is a great movie story wise, but it's a gorgeous movie. And this kind of
is,
like I feel like everything he does is just beautiful
Mhm.
beyond being. I think this one is also truly deeply impactful, and like you want more than anything just to rip this little girl away from all these horrible things that are
Sure.
happening
Yeah,
around her. And
absolutely.
it's like it's very good. Anyway, what do you guys think?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Hey,
That's a
I picked
win.
a movie
That's a
that
rare-
Aaron didn't like.
Yeah.
That Aaron didn't hate.
I know, right? I never mind to read subtitles. And in fact, a lot of times, even if it's an English-speaking one, I'd read subtitles
I turn 'em on.
while I watch it.
Ugh. I don't
Um,
know how you people do that.
sometimes I have to.
I can't hear the movie
Yeah.
otherwise. It's an ADHD thing for me, as far as I know.
I think that's
in
what it
that If
is.
there's any
Okay.
other sound outside, I need the extra focus
Yep.
point of the subtitles.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So reading subtitles is no big deal to me at all. In my mind, I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I hear what I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It like for me, it doesn't break up the movie or anything. It's
Okay.
just like I'm listening to it happen. But I do agree with his set and all that being beautiful.
The production design.
Yeah, I thought the way everything looked, it was like its own real world, almost like, but on a grand scheme, almost like you get like in Lord of the Rings or something of that nature, like just a fantastical
It's very
type of feeling about that area and the way it looks.
it's very good grounded but painterly.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
That's a good, yeah.
with the way, especially like in the forest, the way the light comes through the trees, it looks like a painting,
Yeah.
kind of just moving, like a moving painting. Yeah, I mean it's a gorgeous movie.
Yeah, and even like the special effects, like the fairy and or the it's a bug at first.
Yeah,
Things like that just were really good.
It's cool.
I mean,
yeah, they hold up, and it's almost 20 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they definitely hold up.
Yeah,
I mean, I've definitely seen worse.
and he uses a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of practical. Like all the fawn is real except for his legs because he's
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
like
He's a puppet.
tree.
He's a
Uh,
puppet, right?
no, that's a
Is
man
he
in a suit.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
It's Doug Jones.
Is it Doug Jones? Okay.
Yeah,
I was
Doug,
wondering.
Doug Jones plays everything in a Guillermo del Toro
Yeah,
movie.
it's
He
Doug
plays the
Jones.
guy with the hand
the
eyes.
Yeah.
man in Shape
Because
of
he's
the
like
Water.
he's super tall and skinny, so he can
Mhm.
just like fit in all these.
He's the one that played the gentleman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's in the
Hellboy movies.
Hellboy movies, which I
Yeah.
also love.
Yeah. Yes, I mean the production design and makeup and everything's gorgeous. I think he kind of I put him in the same bucket with like Tim Burton. Like
Mhm.
I think at their heart, they're production designers first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When they have a good story that is like personal and they have a good script, that can really elevate the script. When they don't have the strongest story or script, I feel like the film gets away from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this, like when I first saw it, I was not crazy about it. I felt
Yeah.
like the production design overwhelmed the story because I guess I found it a little too simple. But but as I've watched it again,
Fairy tale.
I know, just saying. I don't know. It didn't engage me. It didn't draw me in. I could recognize that. Yeah, that's beautiful. The makeup is great. It's beautiful. Cinematography's gorgeous. It just didn't engage me, but I did like it a lot more revisiting it.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, this is like, honestly, I would rank this among Del Toro. Like Crimson Peak is gorgeous. Like that Crimson Peak's the kind of movie we're talking about where it's like, you're only watching that for the production design. The script is pretty bonkers.
Yeah.
It's not really very coherent. Like good performances, they're having fun, but it's like the sets and the costumes and the makeup is like that's the star of the movie.
Yeah.
Great actors. It's a fun ghost story, but I think that movie could have been done in an hour. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, there's not enough there.
Mm-mm.
Like
Yeah.
there's not enough meat to the bones there. But my personal favorite film of his is Shape of Water. I love that movie, and I go Blade 2. Blade 2 is the shit, and will always remain the shit. It is an awesome movie. And then I go Mimic.
Okay.
And then I go Pan's Labyrinth, probably. I like the Hellboy movies. They're fun.
I like
Ron Perlman's great.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same kind
Yeah.
of thing, but they don't. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's your superhero movie. There's nothing really not too
Right.
much going on. But I did really enjoy revisiting this. I think it holds together really well. I love.
Apparently better even. It aged better.
It did. It
Yeah.
did. It aged better. It aged
Yeah.
better.
That's awesome.
I really love. I love the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man,
he's horrifying.
He's a bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
He's the worst.
he's great. Like I don't know if I've ever seen him in anything else, but that actor is just very good.
Yeah. He very believable.
Very believable. And the little girl Ophelia is terrific.
Mm-hmm.
And I like seeing I forget her name. She was in Y2 Mama Tambien as well. She's the
one that
like the
plays
maid.
Mercedes.
the
So Maribel Verdú.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it plays Mercedes. Thought she was great. Like the cast is terrific. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Script is tight. I enjoyed it a lot more than I did 18 years ago.
Yeah.
I like yes, the little girl that plays Ophelia is just like she's so earnest and she's so believable as a kid. The only places that like even like for myself for like small critiques because I can give those when I love a movie as much as I love this one is like would have liked a little bit more and maybe it's not as because it's not in my native language it's harder to pick up on the subtleties but like when she eats the food I don't feel like there's enough of like a reason for her to do that beyond just being a kid and thinking it looks yummy like you know what I mean and that being like a fairy tale staple I think I read in a thing later that she thinks that like you know she's just like oh I don't think or I saw like she's like oh I just didn't think there's so much I didn't think anyone would notice which I guess I get as a kid but I would like there's a couple moments where I'm like okay we could have done with a little more not exposition like just a little more in the script there or something like that though she's alone so how would you get that across
Yeah. I just assumed she was
hungry
like a kid.
yeah a kid and was
like,
just like I'm gonna eat it
ooh,
anyway
great.
and the fairies are like no stop
Yeah.
like but I just
Then they get bit in half.
yeah
Yeah.
so what did you think were you expecting this to be as gory as it was
Well, you guys had told me it was gory, and I mean, it is, but I think it was more not so much the gore, but the brutality that I didn't expect. Like that first thing when he just busts that guy's face in with a bottle, I was just like, "What?"
yeah
I did not expect it.
yeah
Del Toro had to have been inspired by Irreversible. The fire. There's a scene in the Irreversible where
Used
someone's
fire.
face is a fire extinguisher.
Oh, okay.
And, it's about the same effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like the violence, like the like, there's a unexpected quality to it. That
Mhm.
like the cut in the mouth is like, oh, you don't really see that. Like, you see people get shot and you see stabbed
Right.
or whatever, but it's just the unusual nature of the violence and the uniqueness of it is what kind of makes it more impactful.
Yeah.
I love that Mercedes tells him, like, you've underestimated me, and that's going to be your downfall. And he just keeps going about his script that he does when he's about to torture somebody. Like, he, you know, he even acknowledges it. Yes, my downfall is pride, whatever, and does not expect to then get stabbed 3 or 4 times and, like,
His
you know,
jaw slit open.
his jaw slit open. Like, I love that. She's a great character in this too. But like,
Yeah.
there's a really fast, brutal quality to the violence, and the
Right.
number of people that just get like shot, like
Oh yeah.
just offhanded real quick without like it being a thing.
Like
and-
that guy, he's in the field or whatever, and he's alive, but he can't talk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's pushing his gun away,
Yeah.
and then he just shoots him through his hand.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. Put your hand up. We'll just shoot you through it.
Yeah.
But
I was like, wow.
I think if it like, I really think the bottle scene's so important because if you didn't already peg
Hate him.
him
Yeah.
as a bastard, the fact he murders that guy, then goes and opens the bag and pulls out the rabbit and is
Improves,
like,
yeah.
search him better next time, and like walks like.
Yeah.
And proves that they were telling the truth, and he wasn't even going to bother to do that before he like beat the one man to death and shot the other one.
Yeah.
And it's just because why would he? Who is going to hold the captain to the consequence?
Right.
Um.
I mean, yeah, it definitely the brutality caught me off guard. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but it just caught me off guard at first. But once I saw the bottle scene, I kind of was ready for the rest.
Mhm.
It was just that
Yeah.
first scene was like, oh, this is how it is. Because I was expecting gore like blood,
Yeah.
that kind of gore. I mean, there's blood, but it's more about the brutality and the quickness of it. Which is super funny because the other movie, Labyrinth, is complete opposite.
Yeah. Super fun.
No gore.
You had to have known that, right?
Well, not when I thought they were the same movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, as we can see, like this is an odd choice for a double feature, right? Because there's nothing in common with them besides the name and the.
I mean,
Labyrinth.
there's a through line with they both have young female protagonists
That's
That is
true.
that are kind of whether however you read Pan's
And it
Labyrinth,
involves their
but
brother as well.
involves their brother having
brother.
to save their brother.
Mhm.
They go into this kind of underworld,
Yeah.
or alternate reality, whatever. There's a lot of creatures and fair, like
Yeah.
like
There's a lot.
basically Pan's Labyrinth is just a remake
horror version.
of. No, I'm just
No,
messing.
I don't think so.
It's not a remake, but it's like there's enough similarities
There's
that
enough
like
similarities
these one is definitely a more kid friendly. I mean, they all kind of Labyrinth talks is mostly just about putting like the transition to adulthood, putting away
there. Mhm.
your selfish tendencies that you have as a teenager, and
Yeah.
and that's not really in Pan's Labyrinth, but it is like about a
But
transition.
is it? Because her
mean,
final
kinda, yeah.
choice is
to
her
hurt
to be
herself.
selfish and hurt herself, or
Well, yeah, I mean,
or
I
hand her
I always
baby
just
brother
think,
over to the fawn.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
I was just thinking, I was like more superficially, like
Yeah.
putting away her like child. Like I always think of the old lady in the Labyrinth that has like all the stuff on her back,
Yeah.
and like just putting away all the like stuffed animals and toys and all that,
Right.
like transitioning to. But yeah, no, it is about both girls transitioning to
like not being.
not being
Yeah.
children and being more responsible and willing to do the right thing when they need to.
Yeah, I mean, and that is sometimes, things we've had it happen before when we used to always do two movies where movies just weirdly end up
Being
Yeah.
similar.
working. And this, I mean, we knew going into this, that obviously they both have something to do with labyrinths.
Yes.
It is in the title.
Yeah. So, but yeah, talking about it, I mean, it goes so much deeper than that. There is a lot of similarities in these movies in the fact that it's, you basically have like the very kid friendly version and then you have like a horror version.
I mean,
Um,
Del Toro could have used some more songs. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, some lullabies in there.
They do have some puppets.
Some
I mean, there's a
true.
lot of
lullabies.
puppets.
There are
That's true.
puppets, lullabies.
I could have seen the
I can see David,
Fawn singing something maybe.
the Who, the Fawn,
Fawn.
just breaks out into a number, takes his head off.
Terrifying. Terrifying.
Maybe.
Um,
I
It's
can
kind
see
of like
it
a
working.
like a reggae number,
yeah.
I could honestly. So there's a part of me I could see Bowie playing the captain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because he went through this period where he was playing like very serious roles, especially like in the 70s and 80s.
hmm
I could totally see him pulling that off. Like if just I don't know, hypothetically.
So what we're saying is this wasn't this is two different movies. unlike I originally thought. But we could make it one movie.
I mean,
it's pushing it a little. Like there's similarities, but they're tonally very,
very different.
very different.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I really love about I don't know. That's what I like about like the two of these together, because it was just like, well, you can watch horrible things happen in the Spanish Civil War, and then then we can watch David Bowie. I mean, there are things in, I guess, Labyrinth that are kind of on the dark side. Like
There are.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
like-
definitely like some creepy imagery, like
There's some creepy imagery.
when she's falling and like the hands and everything
Yeah.
get her. And
And the fact the Goblin King is, I mean, I guess it's meant to be like kind of a Peter Pan kind of scenario, but like the Goblin King is an adult man and she is a child, and like that's odd.
it is.
How hard. He
Well,
pursues
I
her.
mean, and I think
I
getting into that, like,
mean, it
you know,
goes back-
she's like what, like 14,
Yeah.
15, something like that, and I don't know, maybe sometimes like older men are like, because this is all in her
Yeah.
head, so she's imagining him as being
Creepy.
very creepy, or subtextually somewhat attracted to like an older
Oh, yeah.
older
Yeah.
man.
I mean, also if we're looking at fairy tales as the source material for both of these, but for this one, that like fairy tale source, I mean, it wouldn't be uncommon for a young woman to marry a much older prince or like, and it's like, so like it's weird, but I mean, I see why they made that choice, and also because they could get David Bowie. But
Yeah,
right.
You know, that's the main reason.
I want to correct something that I said. So apparently the fawn's legs in Pan's Labyrinth were not CG. They were actual legs,
Costume piece.
and then they figured out a way to have them move with the actors' legs, and then they just painted out the actors' legs.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's pretty cool. I thought they were CG.
I've seen that with this girl that does a velociraptor at Ren fairs.
Yeah.
Where it has its legs, but like her legs go
Mhm.
like through, but like it's barely noticeable because she's wearing like black pants.
Yeah.
And it just blends in. Like
I've seen the videos of
Very
those like, dinosaur.
yeah,
Those things look
are
legit.
crazy.
Like I don't know why they don't use those for these Jurassic
They're
movies,
very scary.
especially for raptors. That would be cool.
That would be very
Because then you have like them interacting with people
Yeah.
like on
Right.
the set. And
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very scary.
That does make sense though, because there were a couple times that his walking movement seemed weird to me,
yeah,
and now knowing that, I could see
Why?
why.
yeah.
But I mean, while watching it, it's not like I was like, "Oh, somebody's in that" or anything like that. I mean, it worked.
I've seen
Yeah.
it done I've seen that done in cosplay for like fawns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also seen the like crazy fawn heels
Mm-hmm.
that are like no one at home can see this, but like they're like essentially just like a big tube, and they're like weirdly like counterbalanced,
Yeah.
so that like you can stand.
I've seen stuff like that.
Weird. I was
I
like, how
could
does
not
one
do
walk
that.
in those?
Mm-mm. I can barely walk on regular ground.
Yeah, but
With regular.
I think they're walking on regular ground.
With regular shoes.
I
I didn't finish.
What's an unregular?
All right, so
unordinary
since
ground?
this is mostly for Aaron for classic.
Like Rocky.
We mostly watched Labyrinth because
Oh,
Aaron said
Rocky
he thought.
ground.
I went
not
like Rocky the movie. Like, Rocky, are you running upstairs?
I don't run.
So the opposite of I'm putting us back on track. So we watched David Bowie's Labyrinth because Aaron has not seen that one either,
Right.
and didn't know they were different movies. So, what did you think of Bowie's Labyrinth? Because Josh and I have talked about it before
I mean, it's
Yeah.
fine.
on air. So,
Yeah.
Did you watch it with like your?
ooh, is there a chance you liked my movie better?
I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
You liked Yeah, sweet.
Where's blood? I mean, but no, I mean it. Did I watch what now?
did you watch it with your sisters? Your
No, I
nieces?
just watched it by
Oh,
myself.
I thought it would be fun.
Yeah, it would have been, but these days I don't have much time. But I mean, it was fine. It's definitely like a kids movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I feel like the story's fine, but there wasn't enough to like pull me in really. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
It, like, I mean, I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I still enjoy it, but I need to
I think that would make a
to
difference
be
too.
like with the kids to enjoy it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it was fun showing it to the kids,
All right.
but like it's not one that like I just like, yeah, I'm gonna put on Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I like
know.
to put on a couple of scenes from Labyrinth
Yeah.
sometimes. Like I will watch the musical bits from
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Sure.
Like I love Magic Dance. I really like As the World Falls down.
Yeah.
The one in the crystal with the
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous
That's
with
a
the ball,
beautiful
the
scene,
gala, the ball or
scene.
whatever.
But
Yeah,
I love the musical bits
Yeah.
in this. But for me, this one as a kid gave me nightmares. I do not like the things that take their heads off. I don't know why that was horrifying to me as a kid.
I never found it horrifying. I
That
was just
sounds
annoyed.
silly.
I don't like that scene.
Mhm.
If I could cut anything out of a movie, I would cut that scene out.
So yeah,
It just drags the movie down, and like it's not a particularly great song, and the green screen work is not good,
Right.
and it's just like skip. Can we go past this?
I think I was always afraid that they were actually going to be able to pop her head off when they're trying. I don't know. So like weird.
That
fears-
would have made the scene
Great.
worthwhile.
Weird fears that Toby has as a child was like that scene from Labyrinth and the little bits on the Sci-Fi Channel where like just something odd would happen. It was like the Sci-Fi stingers they would play between shows and stuff.
Oh, I don't
They're just
know.
like sci-fi, but it would be like someone randomly sprouting. A lot of them were body horror.
Oh, okay.
They'd be like someone
I
randomly
vaguely
sprouting
remember
rings,
those.
or like these little creatures making these odd noises. I don't know why, but that just. I think it's the not knowing why it's here and why this is happening and why I'm being
Yeah.
subjected to these images right
Yeah.
now just like really bothered like little kid Toby. So like the like stupid head removal critters. I was always really afraid. I think that they were just gonna manage like this time when
They're
I
just
watch
gonna
it,
pop
her
her head
head's
off.
gonna pop off.
Yeah. I just thought that scene was like the silliest scene in the movie.
Yeah, it's
Not in a good way.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, there's a lot of
like,
silly stuff in the movie. I love, I love all the puppets. The big dude,
Ludo.
Yeah.
Pluto. Yeah, Pluto's great. I love, was it Sir Didymus?
Yeah, Sir Didymus.
Sir Didymus and
his
and
amount.
her doll. You know, all that. Like I love because he reminds me of my sister's Yorkies.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Because they're just so full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah.
And just love them. It does like, man, it does like feel long though. Like there's sequences that just go on too long. The whole like battle at the end just goes on too long.
Yeah.
But there's also scenes that like I find very moving, like when she gets back to her house and like sees all the creatures in the mirror.
Mhm.
Like I almost tear up at that part.
Yeah, where
like,
they're just like
It's really sweet, you
Yeah.
know?
When she's
Yeah.
like, I do need you
Yeah.
for
That's-
no reason, but in my life I do need you.
Well, you do need it. Like, you know, you need those stories at
Yeah.
certain points, you know?
yeah.
Then they
And-
just randomly pop in and there's a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm like, I need to watch Star Wars, and then it's just like, oh, Luke is here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that sometimes we would, especially when we need comfort, we return to the things that were comfortable to us as a kid.
Oh, totally.
yeah, for
So
sure.
like, I mean,
I watch Scream.
you watch
Yeah.
Scream. I weirdly watch a lot of well, not weirdly, y'all know me. I watch a lot of Studio Ghibli movies.
You have a
if
lot of
I
Sci-Fi
need,
Channel tapes.
No, I
left over
don't.
there.
I don't have those. Those
Just
were
the shorts.
uncomfortable for me as a kid. But sometimes I'll watch like I'll get a wild hair and try to find old Goosebumps episodes. Those are fun.
Yeah. So is this all happening in this girl's head in
Yeah, totally.
Labyrinth?
Oh,
Totally.
this one for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
all
I
in her
thought.
head.
I
She
thought
may be committed in the sequel.
I was
Like,
gonna
they made
say,
a
like,
sequel.
I thought this girl needed help, to be honest.
This for sure is a dream.
Like, she's got something going on.
As far as I can.
Well, because there's all the little like you see like if you notice like they like on her desk when she gets to her room are like all the creatures
All the
pretty much.
creatures,
And I think
yeah.
there's a Goblin King figure or
Yeah.
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 There's something there. I forget
It's
what it
the-
is, or is it a
Snow globe.
snow globe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all just in her head.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's still a fun movie. I mean it's really fun to watch kids watch. watch it.
Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, it's not that I hated it, and it's not that it's not a good movie. Like, I'm glad I've seen it. Just for me, it was fine.
It's in her head the way like the Princess Bride is in the little boy's head, but like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's happening, but it's not.
Right.
Unlike Pan's Labyrinth, where there's some like dubiousness about like we've wandered into like an ancient forest and there's these like ruins and could this be real?
Yeah.
This
Right.
is very much like no, she's having
Girl,
she's
you gotta
babysitting
get
and having a
some rest.
dream.
Yeah,
or
for
like,
sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like I said, I think Bowie's great in this. I think that's really what makes it. But I do think, for me, even now as an adult, going back and watching this, I still like it. But I think if I hadn't have watched it as a kid and a young teenager, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I could still have fun with it.
Yeah.
And like all the hijinks of the Muppets,
Yes.
the puppets, or the
Puppets,
Jim
yeah.
Henson, the creativity, all, and like the, all the matte paintings of the Goblin City, and it's like there's still a lot of imagination. There's a lot to appeal, like it's appealing,
Right.
but it wouldn't hold the same kind of nostalgia for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason. I mean, I'm 36 and watching it for the first time. I mean, I think that's why it was just fine. I couldn't get into it. I'm not a child. I mean,
No, I mean it's aimed
like
at
that's
aimed at
I think that's
kids.
the reason.
Yeah, it's a kids movie,
So
and I like that it is just a kids movie.
But yeah, I mean, after watching both these movies, clearly they're separate movies. But originally, what I thought Pan's Labyrinth was the name of the movie,
Okay,
and then I thought it was the David Bowie movie,
Mm-hmm.
but with the Pale Man.
Interesting.
so you thought he was in the
Yeah,
David Bowie movie?
yeah. So I thought it was like a kids but scary movie. But no, I mean, I still enjoyed. I think I enjoyed both. Like I said, the David Bowie is more of a. I'm glad I've seen it. I know what people's talking about.
Yeah, you get
Fine.
references now.
Yeah,
It's a big pop culture, especially
right.
at this point, because people like my age now are like have kids and show it to their kids. So now there's
exactly.
because when I was a kid, there was no Labyrinth merch.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a movie that came out, did all right, kids liked it,
Right.
and we moved on with our lives. And now those people are 40
Mm-hmm.
and have 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, and they're showing Labyrinth. So now there's like Labyrinth shirts and
Mhm.
Labyrinth toys and
Yeah, and that's the
replicas.
thing. I've seen stuff like that, and I've never.
Known why. I mean, I love the costume in this one too. Like it's just
oh yeah, and I mean Jennifer Connelly's dress, especially during the
beautiful.
ball,
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Mhm.
That whole I really do love that sequence, and like the sequence, like the with the stairs, like is it Escher? Where it's,
Yeah,
like,
the MC
stairs.
Escher, where
Yeah.
like she walks up the.
She
like,
walks
through
up the stairs, and she's down the stairs, and like
Oh, at
Yeah.
at the end, yeah, that's
I
really
was going to
cool.
bring that up. I did love that scene.
Like it's
and like
fun.
the babies crawling and David Bowie's in different places.
Yeah.
And
There's like a shot where he like comes from below and like around
Yes.
an edge
Yeah.
and up, and I was like, that movie's fun to watch just for like, man, the special effects are really cool.
They're neat,
Like they're
yeah.
very ingenious kind of.
and
Right.
way ahead of their time. I mean, the owl looks not great
Yeah.
now, but like at the time, it was the first like fully CG animal that they had ever done.
Yeah.
So like it was.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember we started the movie and Kevin was like, "What's that?" I was like,
It's an owl.
It's a CG owl. Like it's very early." He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
yeah,
Kevin's better.
that's great.
That looks bad.
It's bad.
What is this movie?
It's not.
That's how it started. And I was like, "Uh-oh."
It's not a strong start.
Just wait till we get to the
owl's
puppets and
not a
everything.
strong start.
How'd they end up liking it?
No, they ended up really digging it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I want to shout out to Cabinet of Curiosities. Guillermo Del Toro
yeah.
produced it. It's a horror anthology series that is all Latin American.
It's on Netflix.
All Latino or Spanish directors. It's on
Mhm.
Netflix. It's a lot of those are very good. A lot of those are very good, very fun.
Yeah, and I read one thing about him creating this film is he was offered like double the budget by production companies if he would make it in English.
Yeah.
And he wanted to make it in Spanish, so he did it his way.
It really does work really well in Spanish. Just the language.
It
the language
does.
and it just makes it feel more authentic.
Yeah.
Than if they were just speaking English in Spain for some reason.
Right.
I also, I mean, he gave up his salary to make it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's definitely like a passion project for him. You can feel
Yeah.
that in the movie.
he wanted to make this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
And then,
it
of,
was-
of course, being a lover of Stephen King, I liked he did a showing with Stephen King present,
Oh yeah.
and he was sitting next to him. And according to Del Toro, King squirmed when the Pale Man chased Ophelia. And Del Toro compared the experience of seeing King's reaction to winning an Oscar, which he eventually did for The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
that was like he put his money on the line. He did it all to make this happen the way it is, and then made King squirm, and that was like cherry on the top.
That's what I always hear from like directors is like going to, like a preview screening or premiere and just watching the crowd.
Oh,
and
for
seeing
sure.
how they laugh or react or jump or whatever is like, it's like you're a magician to a certain degree, and like you're seeing. It's as close as they get to like being on stage and like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, and like
Right.
seeing the audience
And
go,
seeing, yeah. Yeah, I
That's
can
really-
only imagine how that would feel. I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah, and speaking of where we were talking about Legend and the big horns,
Uh-huh.
I also saw that Doug Jones's horns for the fawn were 10 pounds.
yeah.
So
Those are
That's
big
pretty
ones
heavy.
too. And like I also love that I don't know, I also love that there are little nods to like witchcraft in this, like with the mandrake and the milk and the feeding it like blood at night. It
Mhm.
does like heal. So that's the other argument for it being real. The doctor can't figure out why the mom suddenly gets better
right.
as soon as she starts, and then the mom immediately hemorrhages and
And
dies as soon as she throws the mandrake away.
Mhm.
But is that her just coming up with a rationalization for what's already happening?
I think this movie's happening. I think it's meant to be happening. Like
It's fun either way.
I
I
watched
think
it
it's-
like it was happening, but I mean, I could see it.
I
the
mean,
other
I can
way.
see it the other way,
'Cause
but
there were parts, and I can't think of any specifics, but
I
there
think
were parts
the-
where I was like, "Oh,
the
yeah."
I think it's more
Consider it.
rewarding if you think it's all happening.
The only
That's cool.
one
Yeah.
the only part where I feel like there is more evidence to it being real than it being not real. Because the only evidence I see to it being not real is the captain can't see the fawn.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
everything else kind of tracks with it being real.
Okay.
I need us naysayers. I want the explanation how she got out of the bedroom
Man,
with the guard on the door.
I tell you what, though, Doug Jones, which I mean, I've always been aware of him,
Mm-hmm.
Mainly Buffy and
Oh yeah, he was on Buffy.
something
Yeah.
else.
I mean, he plays monsters well.
Yeah.
Doug Jones is Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
Yeah.
is he the
He's,
the skeleton dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
he's.
What's his
That's
name?
right.
Oh my God, why is that out of
I
my
don't
head
know.
right
I don't
now?
know. You're the Hocus Pocus guy.
Billy.
Billy. Yeah.
Yep. So I've been aware of him, but I feel like he does so many great things, and just reading some of these facts, just like it took 5 hours to become the Pale Man,
Mm-hmm.
and then he had to look through the little nose holes to see where he was going.
And still act.
He had
like-
to right.
he
He
said-
had to learn. Like
he had
his-
to bite condoms filled with fake blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to learn Spanish. He didn't know Spanish. So he had to learn his
Oh,
lines
yeah.
in Spanish and also learn Ophelia's lines in Spanish so that he knew when his came
Mm-hmm.
and, what they meant so he could pronounce them correctly. Like I just think he's also great. I don't know if
He
he
is.
ever
No.
gets enough tip of the hat.
I think he's definitely like he's gotten a lot of credit like in the last like people recognize him like he goes to
Yeah,
cons and
recently I've been
he's like
seeing
the
more about
he's like
him.
the practical version of Andy
Right.
Serkis.
Yeah.
So important note that the title of the movie should be, according to Del Toro and basically everyone else, Labyrinth of the Fawn. Because the fawn specifically is not supposed to be Pan, according to Del Toro.
Yeah, who's
Because Pan is a Greek fawn, Greek
okay?
satyr,
A great human
very,
nature god.
but very, very, very associated with sex, and like it's very associated with like sex and wine. Like Pan is a god of
Yeah.
sex and wine. So
I don't know. It
like,
sounds like a fun dude.
he does sound like he does, but But specifically, so Guillermo Del Toro was like, I just don't think that Pan is too dark and sexual for a fairy tale starring an 8-year-old girl.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
so like it is, and you'll see it in the subtitles, it's the Labyrinth of the Fawn, but
Yeah.
it got retitled to Pan's Labyrinth because to like, I guess to pull in people who know who Pan is, but
I didn't know who Pan was.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
had we remembered, we would have.
had you
But
you have been told who Pan is.
I have bad memory.
Pan is yeah.
I did also think, just along the lines of like Stephen King squirming, Bjork
Mhm.
was so affected by the film after seeing it, she went home and wrote her song Pneumonia.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was interesting. Just that's where this came from.
I mean, when it came out, people were kind of really, I mean, critics and everyone was like really over the moon.
So
Yeah.
Or I think that was part of my, like, I don't really get it.
I like him. I think he's a great director. He makes things pretty.
Mhm.
He works real hard on making that.
No, he's very
show,
passionate.
and
And I
I like.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He's
And
making Frankenstein next.
oh my god,
Oh,
that's
I
probably
saw
gonna be
that,
really
yeah.
cool.
I think Christian Bale is playing the monster.
I
And
think so
Oh, interesting. That would be good.
Christian Bale can play anything.
Yeah, he can.
definitely sounds interesting.
Yeah. He was going to make At the Mountains of Madness at one point,
That would have been amazing.
which would have been amazing.
Yeah,
I think At the Mountains of Madness is like
it's a
one of the
Lovecraft.
great horror stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's H.P. Lovecraft, and it's like
Oh, okay.
a lot of like horror. Like
Guillermo del Toro is made for Lovecraft.
he
And
is
it's
like
so
he
atmospheric.
he needs to make like a Cthulhu movie or like he
Mhm.
needs to like properly adapt a Lovecraft story to some
I could
degree.
definitely see that.
I'd
yeah.
love a shadow over Innismouth.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
feel like
great.
that would be a really good one.
But yeah, at one point, like at the Mountains of Madness, it got so big. I think even Tom Cruise was going to be in it. That's the only way they could justify like $150 million budget,
Yeah.
and it all just kind of fell apart.
apart.
Which is really that's one of the like great unsung or unmade movies. Sad.
Because I mean, I love Lovecraft, and so I'd love to see something. But Lovecraft's so tonal, right? Like that,
Yeah.
you really everything has to feel right.
Right.
And I think he could make it all feel right.
Well, yeah,
like,
and
you know?
he incorporates so much of Lovecraft's style, and like even in like the first Hellboy, you have these like the gods out in space, like the giant tentacled gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know all these like just the I don't know the design of a lot of his creatures is very
Lovecraft.
Lovecraftian.
I think this ended up being a fun episode. I liked learning about how they're definitely two different movies.
Well, I like that you finally liked a movie that I picked, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I did. I
That's
liked Pans. So
I'm glad you liked it.
yeah. I guess that brings us to the end of our discussion about Pan's Labyrinth and Labyrinth. And next week we are going to bring back Todd, our director,
for a podcast,
and not next week, next podcast.
next podcast.
We're going to do a
Nostalgia episode.
Yes, a Pauly Shore episode. And which I feel is definitely the opposite of this episode. So we are doing Encino Man and
Son-in-law.
Aw.
Yeah.
are going to be the two films. We are doing two again. Like I said, that will be with Todd, our director, back on the podcast, who he's been on here multiple times. And then I will also say, keep an eye out or listen out for us, however you want to say that. I don't know. Listen, we're at the end of the episode and my words are not working, but keep listening to us. We do have some ideas for some changes in the future, and hopefully to just have some more fun with the podcast too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
well, we got some new stuff coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we'll say.
So
We invited Pan for a weekend, and we're gonna
it's going to be a video podcast.
it'll be a video podcast. It'll be a vlog. It will be mature. So this is definitely an adult podcast.
Right.
I would just say, but keep an eye out.
I guess I can go back to Greece and see if I can figure that out for us, but nah.
So anyways, stay tuned. And until then, I'm Aaron.
I'm Josh.
I'm Toby.
And this has been The Real Opposites.